for coming out. Obviously, we underestimated the kind of interest we had here in Amherst. And we apologize for that. But thank you so much for coming out. We are entering a new year. And this new year of 2016 can, in fact, be a year in which we make American history. And what I mean by that is not just electing a president of the United States who's going to stand up for working people, but more importantly, we are going to win an election and create a political revolution and transform our nation. As you all know, the Massachusetts primary is on March 1st, and that is just 2 months from now. There are 95 delegates at stake, and with your help, we are going to win this primary. Given the enormous crises facing our country today and the world, it is simply too late for establishment politics and establishment economics. And it is always too late for the right-wing extremism of the Republican Party. Let me tell you what I mean when we talk about a political revolution. What that means is that no president, not Bernie Sanders or anyone else, can transform this country in the way that we need. And what that means is that the power of Wall Street, the power of corporate America, the power of the corporate media, the big campaign donors are so powerful that the only way we take them on is when millions of people come together and say, enough is enough. And when we do something that in this day and age appears radical, but obviously is not, and that is to say that the government of the United States has got to represent all of the people and not just a handful of billionaires. Let me give you a very concrete example of what we mean by the political revolution. As all of you know, to run in a national campaign today, it requires tens of millions of dollars, very expensive proposition. When we began this campaign, what the pundits and all the political experts told us, they said, Bernie, the only way you can raise a significant amount of money is to establish a super PAC and beg millionaires and billionaires for money. We agree. And what we said is, you know what? We don't represent the billionaire class. We don't represent corporate America. And they can keep their money. We don't want it.
Yeah! Woo!
And then what we did,
You guys might want to hop on this for like a minute. Yeah.
is we reached out to the middle class, working families of this country. We said, we need your help if we're going to run a winning campaign. And something absolutely unbelievably happened. And that is that over the last 8-9 months, we have received 2.5 million individual contributions, averaging less than $30 a piece. we have received more individual contributions than any candidate, any campaign in the history of the United States of America. So what the political revolution means is we can run a winning campaign without a super PAC, without the money of corporate America and the billionaire class, and that's what we intend to do. And I believe that one of the reasons that this campaign is doing so well, and one of the reasons that I believe we're going to win in Iowa, I believe we're going to win in New Hampshire, I believe we're going to win here in Massachusetts, is that we are dealing with the real issues facing the American people and the middle class. And what we are talking about is the immorality and the vulgarity of the level of income and wealth inequality that exists in America today.
Yes.
It is immoral, it is unsustainable, and it is un-American when we have the top 0.1% owning almost as much wealth as the bottom 90%. And together, we are going to change that.
Yes.
At a time when millions of people in Massachusetts, New Hampshire, and Vermont, all over this country, are working longer hours for low wages, when so many of our people are working 2 or 3 jobs just to cobble together some income and some health care. 58% of all new income generated today is going to the top 1%. So here is a radical idea. You want a radical idea? Here's the radical idea. Together, we are going to create an economy that works for all of us, not just a handful of billionaires. We are not going to accept the current reality of the United States having the highest rate of childhood poverty of almost any major country on earth, while at the same time we see a proliferation of millionaires and billionaires. We are not going to accept that. We are not going to accept a situation where millions of our people are working at starvation wages. We are going to raise the minimum wage to a living wage, $15 an hour.
Yeah.
And by the way, we are going to have pay equity for women workers. At a time when real unemployment is close to 10% and youth unemployment is off of the charts, we are going to create millions of decent paying jobs by rebuilding our crumbling infrastructure, our roads and our bridges. And by the way, instead of firing teachers, we're going to be hiring teachers.
Yeah.
And when we talk about the major issues facing our country, and I know I right now am speaking in an area which has some of the great colleges and universities in America. All of you know that this country does not succeed, our economy does not succeed, unless we have the best educated workforce in the world. And that is why in the year 2016, it is imperative that we make all public colleges and universities tuition free. And that we also understand that it is totally insane that millions of young people and not so young people are carrying oppressive student debt at high interest rates. So we are going to significantly lower the interest rates on student debt. And you may ask me, well, how are you going to pay for free tuition at public colleges and universities, increased Pell Grants, and lowering interest rates on student debt? How are you going to pay for that? And I will tell you how. We're going to impose a tax on Wall Street speculation. And when we talk about our responsibility as adults, as parents, as grandparents, there is no responsibility greater than making sure that the planet we leave our kids and our grandchildren is a healthy planet. And that is why together we are going to take on the fossil fuel industry. We're going to transform our energy system away from fossil fuel to energy efficiency and sustainable energy. I worry very much that as a result of the disastrous Citizens United Supreme Court decision, that we have evolved into a corrupt campaign finance system where billionaires and large corporations are now able to buy elections. That is not democracy, that is oligarchy, and we are going to change that. What this campaign is about and what the political revolution is about is bringing millions of people together and not allowing the Donald Trumps of the world to divide us up.
Yes.
We are not going to let the Trumps and others divide us up based on what country we were born in. We're not going to allow his bigoted and racist remarks to stand. We are not going to scapegoat the Latino or Muslim communities. We are going to stand together. And when we stand